Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Larry King, Mike L. This is Legit Paranormal News brought to you by Legit Podcast. It is June 21st, 2023, 06212023. What can I do with that? Well, on one side, I can just do 6 divided by 2 is 3 times 1 is 3. And then I'll do 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 3 is 3. 3 on both sides for the math geeks. David, can you hear me? You're muted. Hold on. Unmute your mic. Your mic is not connected.
I can hear you.
I
was having technical difficulties.
TDs, they call them. TDs. Not STDs, but TDs. Technical difficulties. How are you, Sin?
Hey. How's everybody doing?
Oh, it's been a shit show of a day, but let's get this started. Thank you for joining us for Legit Paranormal News. My name is King Michael.
I'm Dreamy David Barr.
I'm Sin Shrader Hill.
And now for the top story. Dave, what do you have on deck for us before I ad lib a little here?
So I came across a news story on MSN.com about conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Because when you hear about conspiracy theories, you think, they're these whacked out people that have these crazy ideas. But there are some people who generally put a lot of time and effort into researching a lot of these things.
So,
yeah.
Really quick. 2 things I want to touch on really fast before you get into your story, because it reminds me of something. Okay. Facebook posts. One's Facebook posts.
Yep.
How many Facebook posts from the year 2018, 19 just look god-awful nowadays, right?
Yeah.
You look at them, you pull somebody, what they posted, what they said, and it's like, wow, that was really mean. Like, out of context, like, if you forgot that it was in a time where there was, like, blood in the water everywhere you went, and everybody was attacking everybody for whatever reason they wanted to pick, which, by the way, I'm on record for, like, and you could track it, because I've been doing about 5 years of podcast. I've stayed in the middle the whole time, and I kept saying, stop it. That's how it goes. Oh, really quick, Dave. Submarines and spaceships. That's all that's on my TV.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to believe that somebody made a metal Tylenol pill and thought they could somehow go view the Titanic. Like, I gotta be honest. I don't think they were looking for the Titanic at all. I think that's a ruse. I don't buy this story at all. There's something about it that's really weird. And everyone's watching it. When they make you watch it, and it's so compelling that everyone I'm talking to is like, yeah, I'll call you back. I'm watching the submarine thing.
So
creepy.
Usually when this stuff happens, a lot of people tend to ask, what are they distracting us from? So what's going on behind the scenes now that everyone's paying attention to the submarine?
Yeah, but you know what? I'll scare you even more. If they're showing us everything they want to show us, I mean, like I said before in the last show, my hat's always crooked. They're trying to arrest 2 presidents at once. They're telling us that there's spaceships and aliens and 11 or 12 different creatures. They're telling us that they're like there's clouds moving around Mars that are forming ice mists, and the clouds keep getting bigger. I read that the other day.
600-mile long spouts of water shooting out from one of the moons of, was it Saturn or Neptune?
Yeah. There's one of the moons they claim of Saturn, I think, that has, what is it? Whatever whatever it is, hydrogen. I'm about to just start naming like fancy scientific words. I don't know what it is, but it's got that on that moon where they think that like water life could happen. But never mind that. That cloud that I'm talking about, they conveniently said, and I missed this part when I first read it, that they saw it hovering over one of the volcanoes on Mars. I read it a second time and I said, wait a minute, there's volcanoes on Mars?
I know, right? Who knew?
Well, no one told us until I was like, hey, by the way, volcanoes on Mars. And it's like, wait a minute, whoa, what? A volcano? I read it as if it was like a mountain. You know what I mean? I just went straight through a volcano. I didn't think of a rock.
Yeah.
Like mountain. And then I came back, I was like, oh, volcano. And then Here's my I'll call it the what the comment of the night. So every now and then, like I'll read somebody posts on social media, and it's meant to be like it's meant to start an argument. There's two ways about it. It's a definitive statement that you're making, and I always say, I don't know why you're making it on social media. No one's really. It doesn't really matter. I don't like. Okay. Like I don't know why you needed to make that statement just now. It's like if you're sitting in a room and you're talking, and I stood up and I was like, I really don't like to share the bathroom with anyone else but me. Like you'd be like, I'm like, why? Sit down, Mike. Why are you yelling? Like, what's the deal? That's kind of what it's like. Anyways, now here's the thing. I don't disagree with the person who wrote this. I like the person who wrote this. I just disagree with this comment, and it was I don't know why you women / ladies should be taking photos of yourselves wearing half clothes. Not even like, look, I felt old when he said that because it was almost like he was saying, showing your ankles. You crazy ladies showing your ankles and necks. Are you insane? Like, so when I read it, I was like, yeah. And he was like kind of saying like, you know, and if you dress like that, you're only going to attract a certain type of guy, and you really ought to think about it. It was like a bit of a moral, you know. And I'm thinking, at first, I think, first off, like, why is he trying to ruin that for every other guy? Like, why is he the guy to make everybody stop? And secondly, you don't think they don't know what they're going to attract when they dress like that? Are women stupid, my friend? Is he assuming that you guys don't get it? That you don't get it, Sin. You don't understand it. Look, if you wear a crop top, you just don't get it. No, they get it.
Yeah, I guess we don't.
And then lastly, doesn't it sound bitter on his part? A little? Like a little mad at me.
A little bit.
Maybe he reached out to somebody and she kind of went, eh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Again, I like this person. I'm just saying that post, because I was talking earlier about posts lasting years. I don't know if that one will. Like half naked. Like what the is actually half naked? If you really
better not go to the beach then.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. Like what is half naked? Like half naked. Does it refer to how much clothes? Is that what it is? Like literally, is it just how much clothes you're wearing? Like length? Or is how much you cover? Like what is how naked? Is that what it is?
Probably a certain percentage of skin is showing. And that's for the math geeks.
So if you're all right, if you're half naked, first off your head, and then your knees down, knees to your ankles at least if you're in shorts, right?
Yeah.
And then, well, I wear. By the way, I gotta stop. So I'm not allowed to call these shirts what we used to call them, or that what they call.
Starts with a W.
W and you beat her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody called it that.
Yeah, they won't. That's wrong. But if you look it up online, guess what they sell it as? Italian T-shirts or Italian tank tops.
That's what they sell it as?
Oh God, yeah. Look up Italian T-shirt. It's this. Italian tank top. It's this. Now, there's 2 points of this. One, that's extremely racist. Two, we Italians, we don't really care. Kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's true. You know what I mean? If it's true, it's funny. I'm wearing one right now. So what am I going to say? I love these shirts. Anyways, back to that comment. It just sounds like it was a little bitter. And I don't think any guy should ever at any point tell women what they should do or act like he's standing up for women. I'm not a big fan of that. Just stay out of it. Like
women can stand up for themselves.
Exactly. That's my point, though. It's like just stay out of it.
And they do.
You end up looking.
Yeah,
don't
they do.
piss a woman off. Seriously.
No.
Yeah.
Sin, you agree to this. 2 things about men and women. I believe. Men are more like Hulk. They want to smash. Women are more like Doctor Strange. They'll mess with your head. There's like, all of a sudden, there's like 9 of them, Dave, floating around. You're just like, oh, no, I don't. They can get deeper in. They're better at it. That's why they're more. I use the word, I believe the word devious.
We can be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without doubt. That's your super strength. Whereas ours is just we get angry and we just, grunt and want to smash stuff. That's basically what I'm going to. Dave, you can start your story. That was enough of me yammering about.
All right. So, the dictionary defines a conspiracy theory as a theory that rejects the standard explanation for an event and instead credits a covert group or organization with carrying out a secret plot. So that's how a conspiracy theory is defined. And here's the trouble with them. Like, some of them you can recognize immediately. Like Jewish space laser, no, I'm not buying it. Okay? But how these things spread so much is that there's a tiny bit of truth.
Wait a minute. A Jewish space laser?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, that was her thing a few years ago. She said there was a Jewish space laser that caused the California wildfires that did all that damage and cost all those lives and everything.
Really?
How can a laser be Jewish?
I don't know.
I know nothing about the religion. I don't get it sometimes. Sometimes it's a nationality. Sometimes it's a religion. I don't ever can put my finger on everything because I don't know much. I speak for the dumb. But how, I know a laser can't be Jewish. I'm willing to bet that. Am I right?
You're right.
All right, cool.
So,
got that one. All right.
When someone starts spouting off about that stuff, it's easy to say, yeah, that's a bunch of BS. But what happens is if someone takes like a little bit of truth and then they create all this speculation around that truth and it's plausible. So when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that could be true. And so some of these things are really well crafted and that's how they spread and that's why people buy into them.
Yeah, but Jewish space laser?
Talk to MTG.
It reminds me of like Killer Tomatoes.
You'll probably be 99.99% dumber if you ever have a conversation with that woman.
You know what? She's got a great imagination. I don't know what. I don't. All right. So wait a minute. So what she's saying is, the Jewish elite have paid for and sent into space their own laser.
Yes.
And they decided, let's burn trees.
Let's burn California.
I didn't think Jewish. I know a lot of jokes, but I never heard like Jewish people eat trees.
Or against California, really.
Yeah, I know. Never heard those jokes. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
All right. So, but now I have a list of conspiracy theories that did turn out to be true.
Oh boy.
All right.
For the record,
there's a lot of them. So
let me just
like a 2-show thing.
Let me just state this really quick. The reason that whenever conspiracy theories are brought up on the shows, I try to make a quick left is because I don't know if anyone is really willing or ready to hear what I do believe in and don't believe in. Because I think I'm going to believe more than they think. Some of these just add up too much to me, and I've been ahead of them a long time. But go ahead, Dave. Let's see how I do.
No, allegedly, these are conspiracy theories that were passed along, and now they've been found to be true. So the first one was that the Dalai Lama worked for the CIA. And that was denied. But according to declassified intelligence documents, the Dalai Lama made $180,000 in connection with the CIA's funding of the Tibetan resistance in the 1960s. And they were funding him because they wanted him to help disrupt China. So that turned out to be true.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
By the way, you know what that bothers me that you just said that? Because and I don't even have to say allegedly, they released information that patient one was one of the doctors at the clinic and not actually from the wet market. And then that was all supposed to come out today because our president signed that law to where everything has to be declassified. But for some reason, he did not declassify that today. Did you guys catch that? He held it back.
Yeah.
It was either today or yesterday. He held it back. He didn't allow it to be like. In other words, it's going to show that I don't know. It might allegedly it might show that they were lying the whole time, and that the little Italian guy was steering everybody away from taking blame. You know what I mean, for what happened, because that whole place is actually, and they were showing all the sponsorship from the U.S. that goes into that facility. So. It's like we did it and we knew it and we just were like, it's this. Everybody stay in the house. Now, see, that's where it's going to get weird. If it gets to be like where people that were in charge get questioned and brought down, they're eventually going to get to, why were we in the house?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. Allegedly, throw that all around if you want. I'm just saying this is what. See what I mean with conspiracy theories? Like right now, this is what I'm worried about. Like, I can see it chipping away to. Why are we in the house? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
All right, some of these are kind of old, so the terms used around them could be considered a little offensive. So,
all right.
The second one was that the government made a gay bomb.
Yeah.
So that the U.S. Air Force considered using pheromones as a weapon. The gay bomb was supposed to infuse enemy troops with female pheromones, making them sexually attracted to each other and disrupting the troops' morale. However, they claim to have never made or used this weapon.
And they did use it.
Who knows?
But let me ask you this. Why in God's name do they think that would make someone gay?
I don't know.
Aren't they scientists? Like, didn't they have a meeting?
Yeah, I mean,
ask a gay guy.
Some of these go back decades.
This sounds like back in the Ropers era.
Yeah.
Anybody's familiar with Three's Company that'll watch.
All I can think of is Snakes on Planes.
Sweating with the oldies.
Yeah, Snakes on Planes. There you go. That's a good one.
All the pheromones, yeah.
Yeah.
I never seen Snakes on Planes.
Oh.
I've avoided almost everything. I'm sorry. Dave?
All right. Number 3. John Lennon was under surveillance. In 1971, the FBI and CIA did put John Lennon under surveillance due to his anti-war songs. So they kept an eye on him.
Shocker.
What's that?
Sorry. Shocker.
Here's one I think you've brought up on a previous show a ways back, Mike. Water changes frog sex.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So radio host and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones claimed that chemicals in the water are turning frogs gay.
Yeah, but he was wrong saying it that way. But
while the chemicals won't change a frog's sexual orientation, a study shows that exposure to a certain pesticide that made its way to the water can actually change the frog's sex.
Yeah.
Estrogen in suburban lakes can have the same effect.
Yep.
Wow.
They definitely were putting something in the water that was all it was doing. It was chemically changing the frogs, the organs and whatnot, like the whole, and like that wasn't a test to make frogs gay. Again, see that they take something that they're doing, and so you don't look into it or really figure out what's going on. They put a dumb name on it like that. Have some guy yell it loud, and it makes it sound stupid. And then why would you even bother looking into a thing that makes frogs gay? Right away you hear that, you go, I'm done with that. But if you heard that it was changing the whole DNA of them and switching them over, like
our hormonal systems.
Yeah, that's a little interesting. Like, why frogs? Why? Because it's easy to do, and they're amphibians and they mutate alone already. I'm sorry, Dave. Good.
No, it's all good. Number 5, the Canadian government built a gaydar machine. So this was in the 1950s. The Canadian government developed what they dubbed the fruit machine to test for homosexuality in federal employees.
That's so.
I told you, like, some of the
this?
terminology in these things is a little wacky because
I'm not laughing at the actual term. I'm laughing at what it was from the 70s.
This one's from the 50s.
Makes sense. I'm being honest. The word fruit was used a lot. That's just the word that was used.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Now the kids say zesty instead of fruity. So if you're zesty, that's the new term. I learned that.
I didn't know zesty. Is that like the soap?
So if someone calls you zesty, they're saying you're a little fruity.
Wow.
I would rather be called zesty. I would.
Then fruity, yeah.
Someone came up and was like, "Hey, Dave, you look zesty." You'd be like, you think about it and you remember what it meant, and then you get mad. But they walk right up to you like, "Dave, you're fruity."
Yeah.
So the Canadian government's testing for homosexuality in federal employees. Now, how they did this testing is a little ridiculous. They did it by exposing subjects to same-sex intimate images and analyzing their pupil dilation response. So a lot of employees lost their jobs. Now, the stupid thing about this is if you show someone a sexual image, no matter what it is, male, female, whatever, we're wired to have a response to that image. So whether they're showing two women, two men, a man and a woman, you're going to get some kind of response. So
Wait,
the
so
fact that
wait, so they thought that when men
saw
pictures
images of two men.
Wait, I'm getting there. So
Yeah.
pictures of men doing things with each other, they expected these men to be stone-faced killers and not even make a happy sign or a ooh sign or a, oh my god, I can't believe it sign, or oh my god, any kind of reaction at all. You couldn't
Something
have?
along those lines. So they
What's
were
that?
focusing on pupil dilation.
All right.
But that's the body's natural response to that kind of stuff. So,
or to anything.
Yeah. So their logic was extremely faulty. I know it was the 1950s, but please, come on.
No, it's not to anything. Let me stop in that. You know what why that's a case? All right, let me explain this. To say that if a guy sees that image, that he immediately is just like, ugh, is homophobic, is wrong. It's that he just doesn't like that. He doesn't want to see that. That's something that the minute he sees, doesn't interest him. And it's just like, you don't understand how guys see other guys. Like, I hate other guys. They're Cro-Magnons. They're like, you know what I mean? Guys are guys. I don't know. I have a hard time. I could never be on the other side because I would never me and Dave would never go out. Sorry, Dave. I'm not saying like you're not my type. You probably would be. But I'm just saying, like, it would never happen. It's just, I know I don't like me as a guy. How about that? Let me start with that. I know me, and I don't want to be with me. So let's start with this. So I know that. So when I see the two of them, and the immediate response I get is, "Ooh, no, that's not me hating them. That's the reaction I just had in my own internal thought processing system, and something just hit the brakes and said, "No, oh my!" It was it's just not it's a weird feeling."
They would have just looked at your pupils, and if they dilated, they would go, "Oh, you're gay."
That's my point.
Or, excuse me, you're fruity.
Yeah, that's awful of them.
Yeah,
that's a horrible thing. I mean, it's a dumb thing. A gaydar.
It's a dumb thing.
That gaydar.
Is stupid. That's stupidity.
They've done some pretty stupid and pretty shitty things over time.
A gaydar. You know what? It's Canadian though. See, I was believing it all once you said Canadian, because they make the dumbest. Oh my god, I love Canada. No, I don't. They make the dumbest stuff.
They make good beer.
God. Yeah, whatever. But they make dumb stuff. They make dumb moves. They got dumb people, not living there, but that live in the area.
I like visiting.
Yeah, I went to Montreal and flipped the car on the way back. It was not a good experience from start to finish. You know what I mean? It was a horrible time. It was really a horrible time. Like, they're rude, the people in Montreal. They hate the fact that we can't speak French. And then I get to watch Liar with Jim Carrey, dubbed in French. I get to watch like all our movies, all our TV shows, dubbed in French. How could you live with yourself that all your TV and movies are from another country all the time, and they don't even speak the language, and you know it's dubbed? How is that your main source of entertainment? That's why they're so miserable in Montreal. I'm being serious. They don't got their own movies or TV. Go watch a movie there. It'll be Jim Carrey talking French. Sorry, Montreal. I really do love you. No, I don't. Go ahead, Dave.
All right, number 6. Black men died of treatable syphilis.
Oh, yeah, they did.
So the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis, again, the terminology, because this is 1932 in the Negro male.
Wow.
They used 600 poor black men and misled them to participate in this study. They were left untreated, and the aim of the study was to determine from their autopsies what the disease does to the human body. Yep. So they could have cured these people, but they said, hey, no, we don't have a cure, when really they just wanted to see what happened.
Actually, what they did is they tested their blood and told them that their blood was unpure, and that to get it pure, they had to put them through like a blood thing, a bunch of shots. And that's the experiment. These guys thought they were getting help for the problem they had. In reality, they were being tested to see the results of what they had.
I mean, it's
that's
almost
sounding
it's sounding mingly-ish. Dachau, Auschwitz.
Yeah, it's
All those
disgusting.
experiments.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Look, like if you noticed, people that have tried to speak up and say, we've been treated horrendously for a long time, have all been in these stories. A little odd, right? Right on the nose for them. They must be like, I told you. Go ahead, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that we could do this to other human beings.
Yeah.
It's sad. And I don't care what the time period is. It's sad.
Right.
But I'm not shocked by it. I'm not at all shocked that they did that. That someone did that. Because,
right.
Come on.
And if you think of the times and what was going on in the country back then, it fits with the times, unfortunately.
It just, people in power abuse power.
Yeah.
I can't see where that's not been the fact, no matter what we're talking about, what dynasty, what time period, wherever you want to go in history. Like we took a time machine, the three of us, all the way around. Whoever's in power is abusing that power somehow. Some people are just better at being mean and evil and crazy. And I mean, as I think it's been proven with just serial killers and gunmen, the white male is just a little high strung. Like white guys, Jack. I mean, come on. Where that's they're a little. Woo, you give them power and it's a little rough. I'm not saying that if you flipped it, it wouldn't be the same. I don't know. I think anybody with power gets angry. I'm just saying that white people have made it like. I almost feel like they took it. The problem is I think we took. I'm not speaking of. All right, let me speak for white people. I'm Italian. I guess they want to call that. We took things too far. Everything was taken too far. Like it was like, oh my God, really? You go, no, really? It's always like they took it too far. Like again, there's no checks and balances. You just keep like a gaydar. How does that even get passed? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what? I mean, I don't care what year that it was. If someone came to me with that equipment, I would go, okay, so what is it? Well, it's a radar, okay? And what does it do? Well, it can figure out where gay people are, okay? What do you call it? Gaydar. What do we need it for? So we know where all the gay people are. And why do we need to know that? Why do we need to know that? So we know where they are? All right. No. No. Other than knowing where they are, what are you looking for? Because you want to track them? Are you going to tag them and bag them and track them? Like, what?
They didn't want them working for the government.
There you go.
That was the whole premise behind that.
Just so they could fire them.
Yeah.
My biggest ass ache of that is always that they make it sound like a gay man could just turn me gay. Like I better not hang around with him too long.
Yeah.
He might turn me gay. Like I'm insulted. On my end, I'm insulted. Like it's like what? Like why would they assume that? Like I'm not gonna turn. No one's gonna. What? It's like again, that's like with the women. It's just assuming we're so stupid. We just go along with all this. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like they wanted to scare other males into thinking that if you hung around with someone that was gay, they could turn you gay. That's the dumbest one I've ever heard.
It is.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. If another guy turns you gay, guess what? Before that guy turns you gay, you know what you were? Gay.
At least, or at least bi.
No. Well, whatever. No, whatever. It's there. I mean, like, if someone can talk you into something,
there's a tendency there already. Yep.
I mean, I can't even get talked into buying a car. So let's discuss the differences on these. Like, one does not involve, like that's Maron. I mean, I'd rather like go look at cars any day of the week. But then again, that's just my preference. David.
All right, I got a few more. Number 7, the Illuminati and the U.S. National Security Agency, also known as the NSA, are linked. So there's an actual link between the Illuminati and the NSA's website. So if you type Illuminati backwards and put a .com at the end, in a web browser, it'll take you to the NSA website. Now, this one's a little far-fetched, and I myself am calling BS on this one because anyone can register a domain name, make their information private, and they can forward it to any domain that they want. So all this is really showing is that some idiot decided this would be funny, bought that domain, and forwarded it to the NSA site. So to say that there's a link between the two, that's stupid. I'm calling BS on that one.
Sin?
Yeah, I got nothing on that. I mean,
the one with the eye does not exist. I've never heard of it. We have no comments on my end. What's next, Dave?
All right. Speaking of the NSA, number 8, the government spies on your internet use. In 2005, it was revealed that the U.S. National Security Agency, the NSA, had been intercepting phone calls and internet communications. Many companies and government agencies continue to do so today without your knowledge.
I got a million things to say. So, Sin?
yeah, I mean, listen, if you talk to Siri, your stuff is out there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Never mind Siri. They got
Any of
caught. They got caught putting video cameras in TVs. No one wants to talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
Why? How did they get caught putting video cameras in TVs? I wonder why. Look at this. They're messing with my equipment.
Yeah.
Listen, you know who screwed up? It was Google. I'm going to say that Google was the first to make me start to think this mother is listening to me. Because
Yeah.
Google's the first time I can recall going back to Google, and they had like a link or information about something I was talking about. Now, I know I wasn't, the first couple times, like I wasn't talking about it, like, because I saw it. I was talking about something, and then Google had it as like an option for me. And I'm like, nope, no. That when Siri came out, I refuse Siri. I refuse what's the other one?
Alexa.
Yeah. I
Oh
don't
Christ.
talk
Alexa is of night.
Oh.
No, Siri, I don't want to know about waste management. I'm not joking. Look. Now
Avenue in Cranston, about 9 miles to your south, and it gets 1 star on Yelp. How about that one?
Siri, where can I buy lime to cover the body?
Here's what I found.
She's not going to tell you.
Lime
She's gonna
spray on Amazon.com. What is QuickTime used? Why is QuickTime used in the disposal of corpses? Barn lime fertilizer enhancer for 50-pound tractors.
Wow.
Yeah, by the way, she's not listening.
Yeah. Right? Ever.
That was come on.
That was perfect. Wow.
I was talking about Alexa when she talked.
Yeah. Siri got a little jealous.
Yes,
Right?
you did.
I was trying to call Alexa the stuff of nightmares. What did I didn't even say waste management. Did I say waste management? Why did she look up? Is she trying to bury me? Was that to like let me know where they'd bury me? Why did they just show me waste management locations?
Well, you did say, where can I get lime? To
No.
do a body. That's what I heard.
No. I said
But
lime after they showed me the waste management places. I said waste management places. I mean, it came up. The first thing it said was, I've got 3 locations. And I was like, what the? And it was like, this is the closest one. It gave me the directions to like a garbage waste disposal place. What the fuck? That's scary.
Mike, it's because you disrespected the Bing.
Yeah, I Googled that, still couldn't figure out what it was. I couldn't find it. Go ahead.
All right, number 9. This one's pretty gross. The U.S. government used dead babies for radioactive testing. This was called Project Sunshine, and it tested radioactive strontium-90 on the body parts of newly deceased children. This was done without the parents' knowledge or consent.
Sunshine.
100%. That's what kills me. That's what kills me the most about this story is they called it Sunshine. Because
it's radioactive.
No bullshit. But I do believe that they would do this because when you notice I know nothing about a woman at all. What is the part, Sin, that is supposed to be like the most like it comes with the baby and it's got like a lot of like
The
there it is.
placenta.
Yes, okay. So that part and the newness of a child, a baby, whatever, is something that like scientists would want to test stuff on because, and I'm not advocating this, but I'm just saying you can see why they would because it's like new cells. Like everything's like it is different than if you came to me, dude. You'd get like cells that were like exhausted. Like they wouldn't even like you wouldn't want to even use them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why they do that. So I would believe they do that. Do I think it's one of the most evil things that they could do? Oh God, yes. But do I think they could do that or have done that? Oh yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah. Why not?
Yeah. And speaking of placenta, I don't know if you guys heard about the Cannibal Club. You can get placenta lasagna.
Gross.
There is a menu that you can look up. Cannibal Club. It's an exclusive. You have to be vetted into this thing. I know there's one in California in LA, and I thought they were trying to have one on the East Coast as well, like New York, but I'm not sure. But you can order like hamstring tenderloin or, whatever. I mean, it's got like these things on this menu. You can try human.
But they have the balls to vet me?
They vet before they allow anybody in there, and it's very expensive, of course.
But wait a minute, why are they vetting people out? Are they just looking for cops? Because they're not going like, we don't want any weirdos in this group,
right? Because who's not weird in that group?
Well, but if you're eating human flesh and you're vetting people, it's bizarre to me to begin with. Like
exactly,
we got this group where we eat people's skulls and their brains, but we got to talk to you first and make sure you're the right type of person to join this group.
Make sure you don't tell anybody about your experience. You can find the menu, but you guys can't talk.
The first rule of Cannibal Club.
Stupid. You know what? What a waste of lasagna. Joke.
Cannibal Club. Look it up. It's disgusting.
It's gross.
In the words of my British friends, no thank you. I got one more for tonight because there's a whole bunch of these things. So number 10, speaking of food, the sugar industry funded research underplaying risks of sugar consumption. So studies funded by the National Confectioners Association and Coca-Cola made shocking claims, such as children who ate candy generally weighed less than those who didn't. And a paper published in the JAMA Internal Medicine revealed that they'd been padding these studies since the 1960s.
Now, do you know where that study starts, emanates, and then gets bloated? Is say you take 10 kids, all not obese. Let's start there, right? Because I'm going to explain something. If 5 of those kids are given candy in a way that's not like, here's a bag, but are given candy periodically, my theory is they may weigh less because they're going to be hyper, like nobody's business.
Right.
Sugar to kids is like Coke to like, I don't know, 40-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't. Because you ever see kids after lunch at like a campground or daycare? You ever been involved in that? The insanity. They literally like they want to hit walls. They don't even know what to do. So it's like, can I see that working? Like if you did that, you spaced it like that. Because think about it back in the day. They're probably talking like hard candy, like it's in your mouth for like 4 hours. It's just constant sugar drip. It's like a sugar drip. Those, you know what? That's what that was. What was my favorite? It's the really hard candy.
Werther's Originals.
What is it?
Werther's Originals.
No.
There's
no.
Jolly Ranchers.
Here it is, Jolly Ranchers. No, Jolly Ranchers. Dave, that's too like classy for me. I'm talking cheap Jolly Ranchers, man. Like, you know the ones like come on.
Like
put
green apple ones, and
you drop them in your drink.
Can.
That's what they say. That's what the kids say. Is that so, Dave? Those all seem like you didn't even touch one that I was gonna go. That's what I think too. That's like crazy. Those were all like, those were all horrible abuses amongst animals and people, and they all had really shitty names to go along with how they were gonna hurt all these people. How about that? It was bad and then evil. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that.
Sin, what do you got on deck for us?
I have got the summer solstice. It is
nice.
Today. It is today. The moment when the sun is farthest north from the equator. It's what happened to us and everyone.
This car would freeze up on the equator. You remember that line from Christmas Story? The dad goes, "This car would freeze up on the equator." You don't remember that? And not a finger. I remember all those lines. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. So summer solstice 2023 actually precisely hit in the UK first at 3:57 to 3:58 p.m. That was when the sun was at its peak. So
why do they get it first?
What's that?
Why do they get it first?
Just because they go from we're talking Stonehenge too, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. So
I mean, why does England get to go first?
Just go with me for a second.
Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand how the time zones. I don't get. Remember that?
See,
that's why
I'm bringing you time zones just for you, Mike.
That's why I'm leaning on this. I know it's coming, so I'm leaning on it. Go ahead.
So precisely 3:57 British summer time is when the solstice hits. Now, for you, Mike, that was 10:57 Eastern time.
10:57 real time.
Which made it an hour behind for me. Right? Okay. It's because of the Earth's tilt toward the sun and its maximum and the sun when it reaches its highest midday point. So it results in more daylight hours. Now down here we had rain. So I'm just saying daylight instead of sunlight hours, even though it's the same. Technically, it's when the sun is directly over the Tropic of Cancer or 23.5 degrees north latitude. The higher north you go, Arctic Circle, you're going to have 24 hours of daylight. Most of the U.S., most of us in the U.S. have between 14 and 16 hours of daylight on the solstice. So when it goes to...
Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
Would you rather wake up with it being dark, or would you rather come home and it's dark?
I like both.
Dave?
I'm a night. Yeah.
I would rather wake up and have it still be dark.
Wow.
I like both.
Rather than come home at 4:00 and have it be dark.
I would rather wake up with the sun at 6. It doesn't come up at 6, comes up sometimes around 7. But if it came up at 6, it'd be perfect. Also going home, I think going home, let it be dark. When the day's done, let it be dark. What do I care? You know what I mean? It's like a work day ends, and it's not like it's the rest of the day. It's technically always turns to night anyway. So it's let it be dark. But in the morning, when you wake up and it's dark, it's a miserable feeling sometimes, dude. Like, especially if you didn't sleep correctly, it's like, God damn, I should be back in bed. You know what I mean? Because it's still dark out. There's something in my body that when I wake up, if it's still like really dark out, which I still do, but I ignore it. It bothers me. Like, I don't like the dark in the morning. Like, I don't want to get up and get moving until at least the sun can come up. Like, at least the sun will pop up. Then maybe I'll get up and I'll move around. But like, no, I'm not like The Rock. I can't get up at 4:30 in the morning like he does and like work out. In other words, sometimes I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's just how I wake up. But I'm not ready to work out. I go lay on the couch and I cover myself in a blanket like I'm in a cocoon for like. I can't do it. Who can just jump up and go work out? The Rock.
Yeah, no. But
I'm sorry.
Speaking of your time frame,
yep.
When you're going to getting up, I'm probably just going to bed because I stay up all night.
See,
it's just me. That's just me.
So if I'm going to bed 4 o'clock, I wake up at 4:30. This morning I woke up at 4:30 my time. At 3:30 your time last night, were you up?
I'm still up. Yeah, big time. I'm up.
What is there to do?
I write. I got all kinds of stuff to do.
You're not tired?
I don't get tired until around 4:30 or 5.
That blows my mind because I can't write when I'm tired. Like with me, to be creative, I gotta want to do it. So if I wake up and someone was like, hey, tell me a joke, if you get the out of here, like walk away, just say I'll be really angry. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just have. To me, there's like not much sense of humor in the morning. I don't think many people have senses of humor.
Well, see,
if they do, they creep me out. What?
My morning is like right after lunch for you.
Yeah, like
so
12 o'clock.
and I mean 2 o'clock in Central, which would be what, 3 for you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Real time.
Yeah. Don't talk to me for an hour.
Sin, do you have a reflection in the mirror? So if you were to hold one up, are you a vampire?
That's a good question, Dave. Sin? Any truth to that?
I can't agree. I can't disagree. I can't confirm nor deny.
That was creepy.
Okay.
Dave, was that the answer you were expecting?
No.
Okay.
So,
good. Summer
let's
solstice.
go back to Stonehenge. Let's go to Stonehenge.
Solstice or solstice? What am I saying?
Solstice.
Solstice.
So it's a combination of those two words. Solstice. Yes. Solstice. Summer solstice.
Nice.
I don't like it. Too many S's. Tracy Morgan could never pull that one off. Did you guys ever hear that story? You know how so Norm Macdonald was joking backstage with the writers who were trying to come up with a thing, and Norm wrote the name of this sketch that had a lot of S's in it, and he wanted Tracy to do it because he thought Tracy would just be hilarious doing it because he can't pronounce S's. And they didn't think it would make it. They didn't think it would be that good, but Norm thought it'd be really good. And it was the Brian Fellows one. Norm wrote that skit for Tracy Morgan, and was because he wanted to hear him say Brian Fellows Zoo, whatever the name was, when he says it. And when you hear Tracy Morgan say it, he's right. It's really good. It's funny the way he says it. Like he's got his own style of talking. He kind of skips those S's. And like, imagine like that's like somebody knowing something is gonna go, and other people telling him no, and he's like, no, wait till you hear this one person say it. It's like sometimes one person can take something that everyone else says it's just dead. And I'm Brian Fellows. Like that was probably his best sketch, right?
I have a friend who can do that voice perfectly. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm kind of proud I can't just nail that one. You know what I mean? I can't just bang. I can't do Brian Fellows. Like, that's a tough one. Like, good. Sin, where were we with the solstice?
We were at Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. Or henge.
Stonehenge.
Henge with an N.
Stonehenge, England.
All right, not hedge.
No.
Stonehenge.
It's okay. So it's also a World Heritage Site. Just so you know.
What sounds better, Stonehenge or Stonehenge?
Henge.
I've been there.
Yeah.
No, but what sounds better? You really think henge sounds better than hedge?
Yes.
Hear me stick the D, how much better that sounds? Hedge.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Hedge.
No.
I'm with Sin on that one.
Henge.
No.
All right, I'm going to keep calling it Stonehenge from now on.
No, don't.
Go ahead,
No.
continue. The big heads.
Let me go back to British summertime.
Island. All right.
Okay. So Stonehenge was actually structured to mark the position of the rising sun at the solstices. So summer and winter. So the winter one will be here in December, right? That's the shortest. On today, from last night until today at 8 o'clock British time, people were allowed free of charge inside the stone circle, which doesn't happen a lot. I got to go inside the circle when I was 12, and I sat on a rock, which you're not supposed to do. Have a picture of it. You're not supposed to do that. I was told once I got up
The
there and
rock?
had my picture made.
It was the
Sit
rock?
on
The rock.
Because of
Stonehenge
the
rock.
moss that grows on the rocks. They don't want you disrupting it.
And I
You're not allowed to
disrupted
touch
it.
the moss on the rock?
Nope.
You're not supposed to sit on them or climb any
So
kind
don't sit on the
of
rock.
climb.
You're saying
Exactly.
don't sit on the rock. Don't sit on the rock.
Yes. Don't do it. Do not do it.
You say the whole thing though?
Don't sit on the rock?
Thank you. Keep going.
Okay, I'm good. So,
right.
Managed free of charge. They can walk around. They spend the night. They watch the sun come up, and they have their huge celebration. And so we're talking about 8,000 were there today. Before COVID, there were tens of thousands there. So that's how COVID messed, it's still messing things up. But anyway, Druids, pagans, hippies, local residents, tourists, they were all involved. Now, when I say, and it said also approximately today, 154,000 people around the world tuned in to watch the sunrise at Stonehenge.
150,000 damn dirty hippies all tuned in?
154,000 around the world.
It's a lot of hippies. A lot of hippies.
8,000 there. 8,000 there. 154,000 around the world watching. So for Druids and modern day spiritualists, a Druid, go with Celtic, all that kind of stuff, old world,
Irish,
linked to the ancient Celtic religious order. So that's what we're talking about. Stonehenge has a century-long importance, and they perform their rituals around the solstice in their traditional white robes today, as they do every solstice. Let's see. I think I am good. I think I've caught you up.
So on the summer solstice, and then Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. And our next solstice will be in December, which will be
September.
solstice.
No, September.
No, that's the equinox.
Oh.
Totally different. Your spring and your autumn are equinoxes, which means the globe is not tilted. It's straight. So on the equinoxes, the night and day hours are exactly the same.
Because that's right. I know it's right around my birthday. The fall, whatever the fall thing is. It's like it's the day before it. Is it like the 20th of September? The equinox.
Super long. It's because
I'm born on the 21st, and I'm pretty sure that it's right around that day. Because fall always starts on my birthday.
2 or 3 days. It's within like 2 or 3 days because they said that the summer solstice can happen anywhere between June 20th through the 22nd.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's 2 or 3 days worth.
I've actually been to Stonehenge close enough to the solstice to see the sun line up with the rocks. It's pretty cool how they built that. Yeah.
And
is it worth the trip?
Yeah.
No,
Dave.
It's a completely different vibe in that area. Like it's really cool and peaceful, and I would go live in the British countryside if I could.
Allegedly, it is sitting on a ley line.
Yeah.
Which spiritual and all that good stuff, a lot of extra energy. And the Great Pyramids also set on ley lines. So there's that too.
If you're in England and you go visit the Chalice Well, there's a bench near the well where the Michael and Mary ley lines cross.
Nice.
Yeah.
So basically the pyramids and Stonehenge are all basically lined up with the sun.
They're on ley lines.
No. But I mean, the way a pyramid is built, it's if you do the math of where the angles are on the thing, it's all pointed in certain directions. Everything was built pointing in certain ways for a reason, right? It was to help them keep time.
Yeah,
or to honor the sun in a weird way and do both. I don't know.
That's one of the of the generally accepted interpretations of Stonehenge. The English Heritage Site also says that there's several explanations that it could be, from being a coronation place to a Druid temple to a cult center for healing, to an astronomical computer for predicting eclipses and solar events. So, generally accepted opinion is that it's a prehistoric temple aligned with the movements of the sun.
Yeah, because I mean the other stuff, me and Dave could just throw ideas at you for what it's made for, and you could use those.
Yeah.
It's to pop big balloons pyramids.
Yes.
Right?
But
that's a dumb one. But is that as dumb as Gaydar? That pyramids were built to pop big balloons. Think about it. It's very dumb, but is it as dumb?
No.
So you would buy that pyramids were originally built because they were afraid of big balloons.
Over.
Yeah. A Gaydar that they wanted this radar was going to figure out who was gay in the government.
Stupidity.
Wouldn't you just walk around and get to know everybody, figure it all out that way?
Right? I mean, can't you?
I would just plant somebody at the water cooler. Because back in the day, everybody went to the water cooler. You'd be standing there why is that guy always at the water? Why is Dave always at the water cooler? I don't know. Something weird about that guy. Hey, Mike, how was your night last night? Pretty good. Were you with the missus? No, I wasn't, Dave. And Dave goes, why is he always writing stuff down? I don't know. I said I wasn't with the wife last night. He wrote like a whole page.
You were hanging with the guys.
Yeah. All right. I am good. I have absolutely nothing. I am doing next. We're doing Into the Legit Darkness. I'm doing it with Rini Rodriguez. She covers different killers or serial killers every week. I'm going to sit in on this one because we're going to do Chris Benoit from Pro Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That's a good one.
And I'm a big wrestling guy.
Yeah.
And I studied up on that case. There's a lot of things about that case that don't add up to me, but we're going to see where we go at with this. We also got this weekend is the Block Island Ghost Tours and us doing the Legit Paranormal Party. I talked to Tim Weisberg tonight. Well, messaged him. I'm picking him up and getting on the ferry Friday morning. I talked to Block Island. I secured everything with them. So now I just got to go do stuff. Now I just got to get on a boat and go there. And I guess I'm going to keep a bit of a buzz, I'm thinking. Not all the time. Like, not when I sleep. But that's the goal, is to keep it a little consistent and have a good time. It's a vacation. It's a party. I called it a party. I'm going to live up to it. So, God help us all. I got nothing else to say. Dave, you got anything else you got left?
That's it for me this week.
All right. So then I will do the wrap up. Sin, you want to plug your book?
Yeah. Listen, I've got 4 on Amazon. Sin Shrader Hill. Please check them out. Amazon. Sin Shrader Hill.
Sin
Thank
Shrader
you.
Hill. No problem.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mike.
So speaking of that, 4 Sin Shrader Hill. 4 Dreamy David Barr is me, Mike Leopard King Mike. This was Legit Paranormal News brought to you by Legit Podcast.com. Stick around for Into the Legit Darkness. And I hit the end button.